Okay, we're going to build a pot garden, man. So stay tuned. All right, so if you want to build a pot garden so you can grow your peppers and your tomato plants, I'm going to show you how. So first thing you got to do, man, is you got to get a food grade bucket and then get you another food grade bucket. And then, well, I tell you what, I'm going to let my friend Randall do the rest, man. All right, I appreciate that introduction. So what we're really going to do here today is we're going to show you how to build a grow bucket. And I've used these in the past to grow tomatoes in, but I have a pet pepper plant that I'm really going to pay a lot of attention to. And so I decided to grow it inside of one of these grow buckets. Well, I decided to do a video and bring you guys along and kind of make this a little video of a venture. So I went to Firehouse and I picked up one of their food grade buckets for like $3 for this thing. Went to my local big box orange store and we got this one for $4. It's also food grade. Got food grade because you don't want to worry about picking up some type of contaminants as your plant is growing and you get all those petroleum byproducts in there. I've seen people grow these out of hydraulic fluid buckets and I don't think I'd really want to risk that. Okay, on to the build. I want the Firehouse bucket to be my outside bucket that I'm constantly looking at. So what we want to do is take our food grade bucket, our white one, and we put that down in here. We're going to kind of measure and see about where that's going to land. Let me put this off to the side. Ooh, smells like pickles. So if that's going to sit down right there, then what we want to do is drill an overflow hole right in there so that when it rains outside, the water doesn't fill all the way up in the bucket, that it has a place that it can come out. That way it doesn't drown your plant. So we're just going to reach in here right at the bottom where this bucket stopped. We're going to put a hole for the water to drain out. What that's going to do is that's going to create an air gap. Also, once your roots grow down to the bottom of this bucket, and it's going to hit an air gap where to root prune those, or air prune those roots, so that the bottom of your bucket doesn't fill up with roots and then cause rot on your plant, end up killing your plant. So that's the idea of doing the double bucket method. And being that you can leave this much water in it, you can go several days and not have to worry about watering your plant. Now the way this works is we're going to drill a hole right in the bottom of our bucket and we're going to put one of these net baskets down through the top like this. And then this is going to go right down in like that. This is going to be full of soil, and that soil is going to be sitting in the water. And what that's going to do is wick that water up all the way into this potting soil mix that we're going to have in our bucket and keep our plant watered. So that's the idea of the 2-bucket grow bucket method. They're also called earth buckets if you want to look up and read a little bit more about it. Okay, so let's get on to building this thing. So right in the bottom of your food grade bucket that you're going to plant into, we're going to just drill some drain holes. And that way, whenever it's raining outside and this thing starts filling up with water, you have a place for your water to drain down into, and so it doesn't build up inside your soil. Just creating a drain hole. That's all that is. Okay, so we got our wheat pole drilled. We have our drain holes in the bottom of our grow bucket there. Now we're going to drill a hole. This is a 3.5 inch drill, this is 3.5 inch, 3 inches on the bottom and 3 3/4 on the top. So this should sit right down in there. All right. Doesn't fit down in there very easily, so.
Wait a minute.
got that drilled out. We'll just take off our little plastic pieces here. All right, then you take your net basket, and stick it right down in there. That fits nice and tight so that it doesn't come just straight out the bottom. Okay, now one other thing we want to do is we want to have a way to put water in the bottom of this bucket without having to wet the top of the soil, because that's the purpose of the wicking basket, is to wick this up and not keep this soaking wet. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a pipe, we're going to drill right down through the bottom of this so that this goes right to the bottom of your outside bucket, so that we can add water right here, and then you can take another stick or something and you stick down in here and you can pull that out and check your water level and see where your water level is. So that's the idea of what we're about to do. Okay, so let's change out the drill bit blade here. This is going to be a nice quick video, guys. We're not going to hold you all day on this one. There's nothing overly complicated about what we're doing here. I built one of these probably 10 years ago, and I used this organic fertilizer along with some fish emulsion, and I fed my plants every week. I think just a little spoonful in the top of the dirt, and ended up, my tomatoes that I grew in that bucket grew all the way up like 5-6 foot, and eventually where I couldn't even manage it anymore, so I let them go, and I had them up on a balcony way up off the ground, and they just went all the way down to the ground. Those tomatoes were probably 10 foot long by the time my season was over with, and I probably got hundreds and hundreds of tomatoes. But this year I don't think I'm going to grow tomatoes. We're already just after 4th of July, so we're not going to put tomatoes in this bucket. We're going to do peppers. So like I was telling you earlier, we have some peppers that I've started, and recently I've gotten into peppers. So I have a couple that I'm really excited about. And so we're going to grow a pet pepper. All right. That goes right down in there. Basket goes right down into the bottom. We'll bring this down so I can show you. That basket should be making contact with the bottom of the red one. And then we put this piece of PVC pipe right down in there, so this sticks up above the soil level. Now, we'll grab some potting soil mix. Now we plant on peppers, whether you know it or not, they don't grow just for one season. They grow for multiple years. I was on one of the pepper forums, and a lady in there says she has had her pepper plant for 11 years. So I don't know how long we're going to be able to keep this plant in this grow bucket, but it's going to be more than just one growing season. One of the things I'm going to be doing in the future also is I'm going to be taking some of my pepper plants out of the garden, and we're going to trim them all the way down, and we're going to turn them into bonsai plants. And we're going to put them in little pots and keep them through the winter that way. And then next spring rolls around, we can plant them right back out in the garden and grow them for another year. All right. We're gonna have to add a little bit more to that, but I just want to get that kind of tampered down a little bit. We don't want to pack that, but I did want to take some of this fertilizer, and we'll go ahead and incorporate some of our organic fertilizer. Just take a handful of this and sprinkle that over the top, like that. And then we're going to mix this down into our dirt. Now, as this gets wet, fertilizer will make its way through the soil from the top. Get that down in there nice and spread out so we don't have an abundance of fertilizer in one spot. There's already a little bit of fertilizer in the Miracle Grow mix here, but it's not a lot. We're not over fertilizing by any means here. But my little pepper plant that I'm going to put in here, not quite ready for this pot, but I want to go ahead and do this and get this prepared and ready, because I imagine I'll be getting ready to put my pepper plant in here probably within a week. So I wanted to make sure that I had this prepared. So we're going to put a good amount of potting soil in there, and we're going to periodically do updates on our Facebook group. And if you're not a member of our Facebook group, I invite you to go over to Floribama Homestead, just like our YouTube channel, and join us over there, because we post update pictures and videos. Well, all of our videos get posted to YouTube, but our update pictures get updated on Facebook. Kind of show you as things progress around here. So, all right. I think that's going to about do it. That's going to get us ready for our pepper plants in a few days. And I hopefully you enjoyed this. So hopefully, if you liked it, we invite you to join our YouTube if you're not already a member, and hit the subscribe button. Give us a like, and if you really like it, share it out on your social media. And thanks for watching. Okay, man. I hope you really picked something up and useful from all that. Hopefully my friend Randall described all this stuff that you need to do to grow your very own pot garden for your peppers and your tomatoes, man. So don't forget to like and subscribe to his channel and support him. I really appreciate it, man.